Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training, where we want to give you the training that you need to tackle jobs like this one on your own. Today's job is going to be painting an exterior retaining stucco wall. I'm going to show you the wall and show you what the job is. This here's the beginning of the wall. We did 3 test samples and we decided we're going to paint it the middle color, which is called Dune. So it's only about 3 feet tall here, and this is the wall going down the property. So it basically goes down the property this way, curves around to the right. Let me show you the back. So it curves around here and goes all the way over to there. We also did color paint samples over there just to try to determine which one to go with. So that is the job. By the way, I was the one who put the stucco application on this wall. Check out my channel, Ken Training, keyword search for stucco, and you'll see how I did this entire project. I did not use traditional stucco. I used Rapid Set Stucco Patch, which is patch and paint ready in 2 hours. So with this product, you don't have to wait the 28 days to paint the wall that you would with normal stucco. This is a different type of product, but that's the product that I used for the entire wall. And it has what's called a 1620 grit finish, and so it's kind of like just a sand grit finish is basically the finish that I was going for. Now the first thing I did this morning was I took the garden hose and I went in and sprayed the whole wall to get all the dust off of the wall. This stucco job was done like about a week ago, and I wanted to make sure that the wall was as clean as possible, but it was just recently washed off with the garden hose, so it has a moisture content. Now I have my moisture meter right here, which is a there's the model number right there, General MM8. So we have to see, I want to get this moisture level below 20%, so you turn it on. This is the mode button here, and it tells you what mode button we're on. Currently we're on wall. When you hit it once, and it tells you that we're on masonry. And let's see what the current moisture content is of the wall. Okay, so here you go. That tells you that we're at 72%. That's just in an arbitrary spot right there. So I know that we're too wet to start painting the wall. It's early in the morning and it's cloud cover here. It's summertime in SoCal, but it's going to warm up today. But I want to wait till I get this moisture content below 20% before I start painting, just to give it the best bite possible. So we have time to kill while I'm waiting for this. Let me show you the products that we're going to be putting on the wall. This is, by the way, how I plan on doing the cut-in. I just took an old Behr box. I cut it so it's a nice straight line. So when I go up against it like this and I use the roller, I'll cut in my edges like that, and I'll just slip this along like this as I go and do the job. Okay, so here are the tools that I plan on using for the job. I'm going to be using a 3/4 inch nap roller in order to put the paint onto the wall. So I got four rollers here in total. I got a 2.5 inch angled cut-in brush, so if I need to cut in, I'm going to have to cut in when it comes to the wall. Let me show you. When I come over to this section right here, I'm going to have to cut that in. So there's going to be some sections that I need to cut in. Alright, now some of this stuff I brought out here just for demonstration purposes here, just to kind of show you different products that you could use. Now our top coat is going to be this one right here. We're going with the Behr Elastomeric Masonry and stucco and brick paint with a lifetime warranty. That's a satisfaction warranty, which is pretty impressive. But I wanted to bring out some other products to kind of show you what you could also be using, but is not really the best. This one is the best in the Behr family. Now I do want to let you know I did a cost comparison analysis against Sherwin-Williams brand. I think it's Concur or something like that. and the Sherwin-Williams brand was actually twice by the way, my wall is 500 square feet. So based off of a 500 square feet of coverage, which one of these containers apparently will cover about 500 square feet, and this container cost me $130 at the Home Depot. And the same container with the Sherwin-Williams brand of Elastomeric was, I think, $330 per 5 gallons. But considering that this has a lifetime warranty and the Sherwin-Williams brand did not, and I really didn't think I was getting that much better of a paint with Sherwin-Williams, I'm going to go with this one, and we'll see how well it does. Now, these are other paints that you could use for stucco but are not recommended. This one here is just it's also a Behr paint, and it is a what they call a 100% acrylic paint, which is, and it's also an exterior paint, but it's not the best paint when it comes to using for masonry, but it is good for exterior trim and wood and things like that, but not for masonry. Now, this one here is the, let's just put it this way: good, better, best. So the better one is this one here, which is another Behr product, specifically for masonry, stucco, and brick, but it is not an elastomeric. It's just a masonry paint, and it has a 20-year warranty. So this one here, if I purchased this particular paint in the 5 gallons, it was $99. So let's just say $100. So it cost me $30 more per 5 gallons to get this exact elastomeric paint rather than this one. This one has the lifetime warranty. This one has the 20-year warranty. I really don't want to be doing this job again. I want the best product on the wall as possible. So that's why we're going with this product. Now this product, as well as other ones, is also a system. Now the system, let me show you. Here it tells you that what you want to do is you want to prime all uncoated surfaces and so forth with the Behr 436 exterior multi-surface primer sealer. So here we have the Behr multi-surface primer sealer number 436. Now we know what color we're painting our wall, so I also got this tinted and color matched to the same color that the top coat is going to be, which is this one right here, which I'll show you right now what that sticker says. But basically what it is Dune, and I'll show you that on the Behr color chart. So when you go to look at the color samples and the brochures that they offer this one, which is exteriors. Hang on, open that up, and there's your color family like that. But because I'm dealing with specifically this masonry, and I wanted specifically the elastomeric paint, Behr has their own brochure specifically for masonry, stucco, and brick paints. So inside of this one here, and by the way, it goes into the product that we're using, the lifetime warranty elastomeric, and it shows you how it's got like it comes in a low sheen finish, and it can stretch out really a lot better. But this is also a very good product, 20 years, and it's just not as good as this one here. I actually did a project with this paint right here. Let me show it to you right now what I did. I did this project a few weeks ago. What happened is the stucco here was completely, the old stucco was deteriorating and falling off the wall. What happened was some previous stucco person stuccoed over the weep screed or drip screed or sill screed here at the bottom, and what happened was the stucco went right into the ground, and through capillary action the water percolated all the way up till it hit that wood, and then it just hydrostatically pushed the paint and the stucco out, and it basically disintegrated all the stucco. So I used that same product that you saw before, stucco patch, to do this entire job. By the way, you can check out my channel to see how I took all this, demoed it out, took it down to the studs, and then rebuilt it the way that you see it now, and then used that 20-year product, and I think it looks fantastic. The paint went on really nice. So it's a good, even the 20 year is a good product. But this I just wanted to give you a shot of what that looks like and how well it came out. Okay, so that was an example of me using the 20 year paint, which is still a very good paint. But for the cost difference, and actually I've never used the Elastomeric. This is going to be my first time, so I'm excited to use that and see how well it does. And now we'll have a comparison basis as well. And then here is your color palette for these specific exterior paints. Now we went and we circled 3 that we kind of liked, but we ended up going with this one here, which is Dune. This is the one that you saw with the color match. When I do my color samples on the wall, I put 1 coat of primer, that's the white that you see in back, and two coats of the sample paint. So this way you're looking at as close as possible to what the actual finish will be. So that's how I do my samples on the wall. 1 coat of primer, 2 coats of paint with the sample paint. Now, and by the way, I should mention this also. The sample paint is not this here's the sample paint that we chose, but it is basically just a simple acrylic paint. So it's Behr with the medium base, but basically it's just an acrylic paint. So it's not the Elastomeric paint, but because they don't sell the Elastomeric paint in these small little sample containers. The smallest one that they sell here, I think, is 1 gallon, and I didn't want to purchase 3 separate gallons to do just to choose the color that I wanted the paint to be. So that's what that's all about. Now we know that our job is 500 square feet. The coverage of 1 gallon of the primer is going to be somewhere between 250 and 400 square feet. So we're going to be a little shy with this 1 gallon. If I have to, I'll go and purchase another 1 gallon. But I can also utilize this here, which is just Kilt's 2 all-purpose, and it's not tinted, but it is good for stucco and masonry walls, which tells you right down here. There's your masonry and there's your stucco. And we have a stucco wall. This is actually the primer that I used to do the sample job with there. So this gallon is almost full. So if I have to, I'm going to break down and use this. As a matter of fact, what I'll end up doing is I'll end up taking some of this and pouring it into this in order to get the maximum usage out of this 1 gallon container as possible. Now, when it comes to the Elastomeric paint, let's show you the spread right here. This one here is 375 to 625 per 5 gallons. That was per 1 gallon. So this will be just about 1 coat. Will cover this 5 gallons will do about 1 coat for the entire project. So because I don't know exactly how far this is all going to spread out, I just purchased 1 gallon of that and 1 gallon of that. But basically that's it. I think we're good to go. All we have to do now is wait for this to get down to below 20. And depending upon where you strike it on the wall, look there, it's 72. By the way, in case I didn't say this, I've also got a 1/2 inch drill with a mixing paddle so that I can mix up the primer and the paint. I'm going to be using this 5 gallon container with one of these screens in order to use it for my roller application. And that's it. I've got a couple of frames, a couple of roller frames. There's one roller frame over there with the handle, and I also got another roller frame here. I got an extra brush here if I need it, but I plan on probably just using this one here for the cut-in. Okay, this morning is when I washed the wall down, and I washed it down at like 7 a.m. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Let me show you what the moisture reading is on the wall right now. And it's a little hard for you to see that, but it's basically saying like 69–70%. This wall's never going to drop to 20%. I guess that was just a pipe dream. I checked it in several sections, and I also checked it over here where it had full sun for a while, and it's about the same over, or even back there where it had a good amount of sun for hours and hours and hours. So we're going to start this project because we're losing the day, and I got to get at least the primer coat plus the other coat, the top coat, on here today. So we are going to start this project right now in just a few seconds. Okay, we got our primer right here. I've already stirred it up a little bit, and I'm going to dump it into my bucket. I always like to keep some water with the sponge near me. But for now, we're just going to dump this whole gallon out here and get rid of that. And we still have a bunch of paint in here. So what I'll do, since I've already got the brush a little messed up, is I'll see if I can do a little bit of cut in right now with that little bit that's in the bottom of this bucket. And in the meantime, I'll give this a cover. Alright, we'll throw a cover on this. Alright, that's good for cut in over here. I'm going to go to the other side now and cut in over there. Hopefully the camera's picking that up so you can see how well I just cut in right there. Okay, so here's the cut in on this side. And this, I actually only anticipate those two cut-ins being necessary. I don't even anticipate the other side being necessary. I mean, any other cut-in being necessary. Okay, now I'm just going to empty the rest of my bucket, my gallon container, into here. So I utilize all this paint up 100%. Okay, that container is just sitting out in the sun drying. Now I'm going to take my paint samples and throw them in here so I can utilize all the paint from the samples. Actually, what I should do is I should shake it up real good before I put it in there. Okay, so just trying to utilize every single little bit of paint. And while I got my paintbrush still wet, try to capture everything 100%. Alright, that's that 1 gallon primer container that I cleaned out, and I'm just having it air out here in the sun so I can reuse that. Now I want to show you how I clean out a brush, because I'm not anticipating on needing a brush for a while. So I got my garden hose, I got a bucket, and I have got a brush. So let me show you how I do this. Okay, this here is the container that the brush came in when I purchased it. It's called a keeper, and you hold on to this. So what I'm going to do is I take a piece of paper towel here, and I take my brush that's been cleaned, and now I'm going to wrap it like this to keep it, to dry it out. Then I'm going to take it and put it into the keeper. And this, what this does is it keeps the shape of the brush. So like this, 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 bring this up here, bring this over, and just let that sit there, and then that'll keep that brush in the same configuration. That's how I like to redo it, so I can get the maximum life expectancy out of my brushes. I have another brush here in case I need another brush, but I don't think I'm going to need another brush for this whole project. This one will be fine. Okay, we need to get our roller ready to go. And so we're going to use our 3/4 inch roller pad. Put that on. And now what I'd like to, oh, by the way, so I took one of my sticks that was about 5 feet long, and I cut it so it's just 2 feet long. So this way it's not a very big wall, so it'll give me a little bit more leverage to do this job easily. Okay, so now I've got that, and what I want to do is I want to take some Scotch tape here, and I want to de-shed this roller, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to take this, put it on here, take some out like that, some tape, and I'm just going to run it back and forth like this. And it just kind of, what they call this de-shedding. Not that this wall is highly critical, but it's not a bad practice to get into to de-shed your rollers before you use them for the first time. So that's de-shedding, and if you look at the back of this tape, you can kind of, the camera may be picking up some of the hairs that I got from that. So just take this off, throw this in the trash, and now we are good to go with our roller. We got our bucket of paint, and we are good to start applying the paint to the wall. Finally, we're at that stage. I expect this to go fairly quickly, so I'm just going to get you started together, so I kind of show you how I do this project, and then I'm just going to roll really quickly on my own. So basically everything is all set up. I have the wall is clean. Everything is set up. I've already done my cut in. I've got my paint ready to go with my roller pad. I've got a piece of cardboard underneath so I can cut it in fairly quickly, and I'm just going to start here on the left and work my way down. I'm going to note the time right now. The time is, let's see, it's 2:11 p.m. so I know that I cannot start the paint until 3:11 p.m. So I'm just going to make a note of that. Alright, let's make sure this is exactly where I want it before I get going. That looks good. Now I can take my roller pad and load it up. Not so much that it's dripping off, but just load it up and get it on here nice. See that it's not dripping off of the roller in any way. Totally controlled. And I'm just going to start out here on the top and work my way down. This is easy and fast. Look how fast this goes. Going to get close, but I'm not going to touch the wall over here. Make sure that I don't have any lap marks. See here, having this nice small roller handle is just perfect for this wall. So it's okay to cut a handle to accommodate for the job that you're on, which is exactly what I did. Okay, there's all of that. And let me show you how I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to move my bucket out of the way here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down with my hand, and I'm going to start up here and then make sure that it's not totally loaded and dripping off. And now I'm going to bring it right down to the cardboard. Make sure I'm right up against it, right in there, like that. And just get that in there as well as I can. Hold that down with my foot. And pretty much this section is completed. QC my work. Right over here it's just a little light. Make sure I'm happy with my coverage rate, and I am. And now I'm just going to take this and move it down. So you can see that's how much bleed through basically I'm going to have with this technique. It's not a lot of bleed through. It's acceptable for this project. And then I'm just going to take and load up my brush again and continue on. So basically that's the process. And I'm just going to do this and continue on down the whole wall. See, I do have some bleed through with this technique, but it's not terrible. And I'll see if I can get better as I move along. I just started this project, and I'll see if I can even get it cleaner than that. But basically that's it. We're at a point where we're about halfway on the wall and we're really low in our primer. So what I'm going to do is I've opened up this the rest of this kilt. So I'm going to dump the rest of that in there and mix it in here so that I can have as much primer as possible. I think I still may fall short on this project, but I'm going to stretch it out as far as I can. So we've got all this done, and we have it all done to right there where that wall does a different transition. So we got to do the whole backyard, and I've been into this project for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, I only made it to there before I ran out of primer, so I just washed out my gear for now, and it took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to that point. So so when I start painting, it's already past the 1 hour minimum recoat time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a break for now and then come back and start the elastomeric paint, because I don't want to go to the Home Depot right now and get the primer to finish all the priming and then start the paint. I just want to continue on with the project. Okay, we want to start getting our 5-gallon bucket ready to go. So this is my first time opening it up. There's a lip here that I'm going to break with some needle nose pliers. Right here. Bring that around. So. Drop that on the ground. I've got a bucket open, a lid, 5-gallon bucket lid handle here to help open it up. So I'm going to massage that around and try to get this open. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Now we got that opened up. Now we want to get some in here, but I want to mix some of it up first. So what I'll do is just try this. This is a thick product here. Definitely you can see how thick it is. just start off with that. About 2 gallons, just to kind of start off with. I can always add more. And just to keep this clean. Okay, here we go. First time working with this one. Elastomeric paint. Now I didn't cut that in, but I'll just go close. We'll come back with the brush later. Feels just like regular paint, nothing special. Basically, it's the same process. I'm just going to start here and just continue on, but just with elastomeric paint. Okay, I can tell you just from doing this small section right here, the big difference is that this paint is a lot thicker and heavier, and it's filling in all those nooks and crannies a lot better than the primer. And this is just the first coat, and it's supposed to be a 2-coat top coat system. So I think once you get done with the second coat, it's going to really fill in all those little nooks and crannies really well. So my impressions of this Behr Elastomeric paint is that it is a very good product. This system should give me many years to come. This is only the first top coat. I still have a second top coat to add to this wall. So all I'm going to do now is just continue on down the wall. Alright, that's it for today. I got as far as this point right there where I stopped with the primer. And so it's got 1 coat of primer and 1 coat of paint on here right now. And now just compare that to the sample. Tell me what you think. The middle one is the one that we've painted, which is Dune. When you scroll over here, to me it looks lighter. The actual paint looks like it's coming out lighter, and yeah, definitely lighter than the sample that I did. Still looks fine to me. I'm still pleased. It's a very neutral color. Absolutely, for sure, it's a very neutral color. This took me 2 hours to prime and about 2 hours to paint, and I'm a little tired, I gotta tell you. Here is what this section looks like. Let me give you a close-up over here. So this way it kind of shows you what, with this technique, you know, you're concerned about how much drip edges you have and stuff like that. It's really, to me, this is very minor, and I can move along at a pretty good speed, and you get very good coverage with the technique that I'm doing. So I am happy with using like this cardboard, pressing it down, and just putting my roller against it and moving that along. That strategy I'm happy with, and I think the wall's coming out just fine. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up, and that's it for now. I have to get some primer. So because I did not need a whole gallon of primer, I just purchased 1 gallon, but this time I purchased it non-tinting, so it's just plain white to put on the wall. So this way the leftover primer I can just save for another project. Okay, so I've put the primer on from here going over to here. We have to wait 1 hour before we can do the top coat. All of this section from here over here has 1 coat of primer and 1 coat of top coat, so 1 and 1, and this just has 1 coat of primer. The recoat time on the primer is after 1 hour. The recoat time on the top coat is 24 hours. So what we can do is we can put 1 coat, after 1 hour from now we can put 1 coat of the top coat on. Then we have to wait 24 hours before we can redo this section, but I could go up and to this section at any time today, because it's been basically almost 20, well, it hasn't quite been 24 hours to that point right there, but I guess if I started late in the afternoon, then it would be 24 hours. We are ready to put some more of the Elastomeric paint on right now. By the way, look how much paint I used. If you can tell, there's like about, I swear there's almost 2 gallons in there, and there's 2.5 gallons in there, like I only used a half a gallon, and I thought that the way the coverage was that I was going to need a whole 5 gallons to do 1 coat of paint, but that's actually not true, because it looks like it took, let me show you. I'll be surprised if it took a whole gallon, but from here, yeah, it's probably, maybe I've used up 1 gallon. So from here all the way down, all the way to there, and then all the way to right there is like 1 gallon of paint. So now I'm just going to give you basically the before and after. So I'm going to start here. That's already been primed. It's over an hour, so I can go ahead and put the first coat of paint on here. So I'm going to do 1 coat of paint here going that way, and then depending upon what time it is, I'll start back here and start on the wall here, and then come up, and then hopefully stop either at this elevation here or at that next elevation, which is over there. So basically that's the process, and I'm just going to give you a before and after. So the next time you see this, it'll have 1 coat of paint on it. The next time you see this wall, it should have 2 coats of paint. So let's see if you can see any difference between the first coat and going with the second coat. I personally don't think I'm going to see a difference. I think that it's basically just going to fill in any little voids or things like that and just be better coverage, but that's my opinion. Now when I did the first coat, I did save the roller pad here, but when I was using it, it kind of gets matted down. So I bought 4 rolls in total for this project, so I'm just going to go ahead and burn a brand new one right now. And again, of course, de-shedding it as I do, just like I do with the other ones. Here is your final product of our wall project. I'm very happy with the results. Let me know what you think in the as the audience and how you feel. Let me show you over here around the corner. Hold on. And here it is over here. I'm very pleased with the results, and it was I didn't use up nowhere near the 5 gallons for the top coat. I got plenty of leftover of that product. I got my support staff right here that helped me with the painting of this wall. Tigo was right there through the whole thing, thick and thin, so thank you, Tigo. Thank you, YouTube. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for all the products I used for the wall painting project. The material cost was under $300, 500 square feet of retaining wall project. I don't know what a contractor would have charged, but The material cost alone was, like I said, $300. Now, as far as the materials, you know that I use top quality lifetime guarantee Behr elastomeric paint. So my expectation is that hopefully 20 years. I'd be very happy with 20 years. If it was a lifetime, that'd be, amazing. But I don't have that type of expectation. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please click on like if you did. If you did not, please leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel, Ken Training. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.